I've never boxed in my life, but I can guarantee you that after watching Creed 3, I know exactly how it feels to get punched in the gut.
You out there boxing. I need you to start fighting.
So, as a Regal member, I'm allowed early access to films. So imagine my enjoyment when I can go see Creed 3 on Wednesday instead of Friday. So I'm just freshly out of the theater. Let's talk about it. I love the Creed series. Creed 1 and Creed 2 are phenomenal movies. I mean, sure, they're boxing sports films, so they have their tropes and they have their problems, and that's fine. Every movie does. But I like those movies. I look back on them fondly, and I would say they're very good boxing movies. Creed 3 gets a little bit away from that. In all honesty, it does. I think if you're a fan of the series, this is without a doubt going to be your weakest one. But let's dive into it. We'll start with the pros. As with every Creed movie, it's undoubtable how fantastic like the cinematography is and the actual choreography behind the boxing. It's truly it's impressive. Every boxing scene in the film is stunning, and you can tell that's where the time went. And that's fine with me. You know, that's what you're there to see. The other side, there's not that much of it. There's it's an okay amount. Not as much as I think you are accustomed to seeing in Creed movies. Anyway, I'll harp on that in a second. Let's go back to the pros. Good acting. Jonathan Majors, you know, he's having a big year, and he's doing well. He played his role super well. He's a massive human and a very imposing figure and voice, which I think boded incredibly well for the film. Michael B. Jordan, of course. He's fantastic in everything he does. But outside of those two, average. There's no really other character there besides his wife and kid. Let's be honest, they're not important. The film's not about them, even though it is. Other pros. Sound design. I loved it. I thought the movie sounded gorgeous. I truly felt like I was boxing. I felt like I was getting punched. It's very well done. Everything from the music to the fight scenes to some of the more emotional scenes did a good job. But I think the pros stop there. I think if you look at this movie on its own, which we're going to first, the dialogue's really weak. It's possibly the script more than I think the delivery of the lines. It feels at times too formal and at times too informal. It's odd. And I don't know a better way to say it. It goes from Michael B. Jordan talking as if he's, you know, Google Voice to, you know, actually playing as an actor. And I don't think it's on him. Albeit I think he's the director, so it might be on him. That kind of took me out of the scenes a little bit. It felt very forced, some of the dialogue. That's okay. I can look over that, right? Okay, so what else is it filled with? Great drama and action between Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan. Great. Except the movie feels short. The pacing was truly phenomenal for the first 60% of the film. But then as soon as it hits a certain point, gone. The pacing's out the window. We're rushing through the end. The movie could have been 20, 30 minutes longer, and I don't think anyone in the audience would have minded. Which they clapped at the end of this one, so obviously ruining my experience. Another problem I have is just a few of the scenes felt cheesy, gimmicky, not really well designed or produced. Almost as if they were struggling to fill the time or wanted to make something seem more important and just missed the mark on it. In all honesty, that was kind of a bummer because some of the attempts were great attempts, and I can give them some partial credit for that attempt. At the end of the day, the movie couldn't really seem to find its footing in what it wanted to be. As a third Creed film, you have to be on your game, right? People have come to expect something when they go to these movies. This one just seemed to miss the mark in all aspects. As the third one, it's the worst one. Not that it's bad, but it cannot live up to the promise that was 1 and 2. It's okay. It's its own film. It's possibly setting you up for something new, but I don't know. I don't know what would come after this. I don't know if they've said there's another one after. So I apologize if I'm speaking out of turn, but they need some help. As a self-proclaimed movie critic, I think this is possibly a 7 out of 10 on its own. This is just Creed 3. Ignore the first two. This is 7 out of 10. It's not great. Has a lot it can work on, but it's not bad. And you can really enjoy a lot of the film. However, if you include Creed 1 and 2, this movie's like a 6 out of 10. It missed the mark. And not that it's bad, it's just not what Creed 1 and 2 promised. Is it worth a watch? Probably. If you've seen the first two, for sure. If you haven't, I'd watch those over this one. But also, there's nothing really good in theaters right now, unless you want to go see Cocaine Bear. And if you are watching Cocaine Bear, please don't watch my channel. Yeah, I think that's kind of everything. Not going to spoil anything, as I normally don't, but it's important to realize that it's the third one, and maybe I'm being a little harsh on it, but that is this channel. 6 to 7 out of 10. Possibly worth a watch. If you have better things to do, maybe don't waste your time and money. Friday, though, we are going to go see the Demon Slayer movie. So we'll have a review on that. Super excited about that. Get to see it in theaters too. So I mean, that's going to be a unique experience. So hopefully that's going to be better. I mean, it is because it's the last 2 episodes of the last season and the new one. I know the last 2 episodes of the last season were insane. So either way, I will see you back here Saturday for another review.